the new God of righteousness, the new gods of righteousness, a new God of righteousness, the new goddess of righteousness, the new goddesses of righteousness, a new goddess of righteousness, the old God of righteousness, the old gods of righteousness, a old God of righteousness, the old goddess of righteousness, the old goddesses of righteousness, a old goddess of righteousness, the greater God of righteousness, the greater gods of righteousness, a greater God of righteousness, the greater goddess of righteousness, the greater goddesses of righteousness, a greater goddess of righteousness, the lesser God of righteousness, the lesser gods of righteousness, a lesser God of righteousness, the lesser goddess of righteousness, the lesser goddesses of righteousness, a lesser goddess of righteousness, the greater spirit of righteousness, the greater spirits of righteousness, a greater spirit of righteousness, the lesser spirit of righteousness, the lesser spirits of righteousness, a lesser spirit of righteousness, the major God of righteousness, the major gods of righteousness, a major God of righteousness, the major goddess of righteousness, the major goddesses of righteousness, a major goddess of righteousness, the minor God of righteousness, the minor gods of righteousness, a minor God of righteousness, the minor goddess of righteousness, the minor goddesses of righteousness, a minor goddess of righteousness, the superior God of righteousness, the superior gods of righteousness, a superior God of righteousness, the superior goddess of righteousness, the superior goddesses of righteousness, a superior goddess of righteousness, the inferior God of righteousness, the inferior gods of righteousness, a inferior God of righteousness, the inferior goddess of righteousness, the inferior goddesses of righteousness, a inferior goddess of righteousness, the ancestor God of righteousness, the ancestor gods of righteousness, a ancestor God of righteousness, the ancestor goddess of righteousness, the ancestor goddesses of righteousness, a ancestor goddess of righteousness, the ascendant God of righteousness, the ascendant gods of righteousness, a ascendant God of righteousness, the ascendant goddess of righteousness, the ascendant goddesses of righteousness, a ascendant goddess of righteousness, the descendant God of righteousness, the descendant gods of righteousness, a descendant God of righteousness, the descendant goddess of righteousness, the descendant goddesses of righteousness, a descendant goddess of righteousness, the transcendent God of righteousness, the transcendent gods of righteousness, a transcendent God of righteousness, the transcendent goddess of righteousness, the transcendent goddesses of righteousness, a transcendent goddess of righteousness, the future God of righteousness, the future gods of righteousness, a future God of righteousness, the future goddess of righteousness, the future goddesses of righteousness, a future goddess of righteousness, the present God of righteousness, the present gods of righteousness, a present God of righteousness, the present goddess of righteousness, the present goddesses of righteousness, a present goddess of righteousness, the past God of righteousness, the past gods of righteousness, a past God of righteousness, the past goddess of righteousness, the past goddesses of righteousness, a past goddess of righteousness, the God of righteousness, the gods of righteousness, a God of righteousness, the goddess of righteousness, the goddesses of righteousness, a goddess of righteousness, the half God of righteousness, the half gods of righteousness, a half God of righteousness, the half goddess of righteousness, the half goddesses of righteousness, a half goddess of righteousness, the vessel of righteousness, the vessels of righteousness, a vessel of righteousness, the person of righteousness, the persons of righteousness, a person of righteousness, the persona of righteousness, the personas of righteousness, a persona of righteousness, the personage of righteousness, the personages of righteousness, a personage of righteousness, the personality of righteousness, the personalities of righteousness, a personality of righteousness, the personification of righteousness, the personifications of righteousness, a personification of righteousness, the image of righteousness, the images of righteousness, a image of righteousness, the imagination of righteousness, the imaginations of righteousness, a imagination of righteousness, the belief of righteousness, the beliefs of righteousness, a belief of righteousness, the thought of righteousness, the thoughts of righteousness, a thought of righteousness, the word of righteousness, the words of righteousness, a word of righteousness, the action of righteousness, the actions of righteousness, a action of righteousness, the reaction of righteousness, the reactions of righteousness, a reaction of righteousness, the situation of righteousness, the situations of righteousness, a situation of righteousness, the circumstance of righteousness, the circumstances of righteousness, a circumstance of righteousness, the relationship of righteousness, the relationships of righteousness, a relationship of righteousness, the number of righteousness, the numbers of righteousness, a number of righteousness, the formula of righteousness, the formulas of righteousness, a formula of righteousness, the equation of righteousness, the equations of righteousness, a equation of righteousness, the symbol of righteousness, the symbols of righteousness, a symbol of righteousness, the color of righteousness, the colors of righteousness, a color of righteousness, the thing of righteousness, the things of righteousness, a thing of righteousness, the way of righteousness, the ways of righteousness, a way of righteousness, the place of righteousness, the places of righteousness, a place of righteousness, the time of righteousness, the times of righteousness, a time of righteousness, the event of righteousness, the events of righteousness, a event of righteousness, the result of righteousness, the results of righteousness, a result of righteousness, the crown of righteousness, the crowns of righteousness, a crown of righteousness, the righteousness king, the righteousness kings, the righteousness kingdom, the righteousness kingdoms, the righteousness king's subject, the righteousness king's subjects, the righteousness king's dominion, the righteousness king's dominions, the kingdom of righteousness, the kingdoms of righteousness, a kingdom of righteousness, the righteousness queen, the righteousness queens, the righteousness queendom, the righteousness queendoms, the righteousness queen's subject, the righteousness queen's subjects, the righteousness queen's dominion, the righteousness queen's dominions, the queendom of righteousness, the queendoms of righteousness, a queendom of righteousness, the righteousness prince, the righteousness princes, the righteousness princedom, the righteousness princedoms, the righteousness prince's subject, the righteousness prince's subjects, the righteousness prince's dominion, the righteousness prince's dominions, the princedom of righteousness, the princedoms of righteousness, a princedom of righteousness, the righteousness princess, the righteousness princesses, the righteousness princessdom, the righteousness princessdoms, the righteousness princess's subject, the righteousness princess's subjects, the righteousness princess's dominion, the righteousness princess's dominions, the princessdom of righteousness, the princessdoms of righteousness, a princessdom of righteousness, the leader of righteousness, the leaders of righteousness, a leader of righteousness, the follower of righteousness, the followers of righteousness, a follower of righteousness, the natural form of righteousness, the natural forms of righteousness, a natural form of righteousness, the supernatural form of righteousness, the supernatural forms of righteousness, a supernatural form of righteousness, the temporal form of righteousness, the temporal forms of righteousness, a temporal form of righteousness, the spiritual form of righteousness, the spiritual forms of righteousness, a spiritual form of righteousness, the age of righteousness, the ages of righteousness, a age of righteousness, the awakening of righteousness, the awakenings of righteousness, a awakening of righteousness, the realm of righteousness, the realms of righteousness, a realm of righteousness, the dimension of righteousness, the dimensions of righteousness, a dimension of righteousness, the purpose of righteousness, the purposes of righteousness, a purpose of righteousness, the meaning of righteousness, the meanings of righteousness, a meaning of righteousness, the culture of righteousness, the cultures of righteousness, a culture of righteousness, the manifestation of righteousness, the manifestations of righteousness, a manifestation of righteousness, the presence of righteousness, the presences of righteousness, a presence of righteousness, the source of righteousness, the sources of righteousness, a source of righteousness, the origin of righteousness, the origins of righteousness, a origin of righteousness, the ancestor of righteousness, the ancestors of righteousness, a ancestor of righteousness, the descendant of righteousness, the descendants of righteousness, a descendant of righteousness, the lineage of righteousness, the lineages of righteousness, a lineage of righteousness, the forefather of righteousness, the forefathers of righteousness, a forefather of righteousness, the foremother of righteousness, the foremothers of righteousness, a foremother of righteousness, the mask of righteousness, the masks of righteousness, a mask of righteousness, the armor of righteousness, the armors of righteousness, a armor of righteousness, the sword of righteousness, the swords of righteousness, a sword of righteousness, the shield of righteousness, the shields of righteousness, a shield of righteousness, the champion of righteousness, the champions of righteousness, a champion of righteousness, the elemental art of righteousness, the elemental arts of righteousness, a elemental art of righteousness, the elemental science of righteousness, the elemental sciences of righteousness, a elemental science of righteousness, the elemental principle of righteousness, the elemental principles of righteousness, a elemental principle of righteousness, the agent of righteousness, the agents of righteousness, a agent of righteousness, the agency of righteousness, the agencies of righteousness, a agency of righteousness, the amplifier of righteousness, the amplifiers of righteousness, a amplifier of righteousness, the amplification of righteousness, the amplifications of righteousness, a amplification of righteousness, the aura of righteousness, the auras of righteousness, a aura of righteousness, the power of righteousness, the powers of righteousness, a power of righteousness, the authority of righteousness, the authorities of righteousness, a authority of righteousness, the might of righteousness, the mights of righteousness, a might of righteousness, the dominion of righteousness, the dominions of righteousness, a dominion of righteousness, the melody of righteousness, the melodies of righteousness, a melody of righteousness, the rhythm of righteousness, the rhythms of righteousness, a rhythm of righteousness, the dance of righteousness, the dances of righteousness, a dance of righteousness, the music of righteousness, the musics of righteousness, a music of righteousness, the song of righteousness, the songs of righteousness, a song of righteousness, the spirit of righteousness, the spirits of righteousness, a spirit of righteousness, the people of righteousness, the peoples of righteousness, a people of righteousness, the mark of righteousness, the marks of righteousness, a mark of righteousness, the promise of righteousness, the promises of righteousness, a promise of righteousness, the vision of righteousness, the visions of righteousness, a vision of righteousness, the language of righteousness, the languages of righteousness, a language of righteousness, the sound of righteousness, the sounds of righteousness, a sound of righteousness, the secret of righteousness, the secrets of righteousness, a secret of righteousness, the intelligence of righteousness, the intelligences of righteousness, a intelligence of righteousness, the sophistication of righteousness, the sophistications of righteousness, a sophistication of righteousness, the genius of righteousness, the geniuses of righteousness, a genius of righteousness, the polymath of righteousness, the polymaths of righteousness, a polymath of righteousness, the psychic of righteousness, the psychics of righteousness, a psychic of righteousness, the knowledge of righteousness, the knowledges of righteousness, a knowledge of righteousness, the understanding of righteousness, the understandings of righteousness, a understanding of righteousness, the wisdom of righteousness, the wisdoms of righteousness, a wisdom of righteousness, the revelation of righteousness, the revelations of righteousness, a revelation of righteousness, the fortress of righteousness, the fortresses of righteousness, a fortress of righteousness, the city of righteousness, the cities of righteousness, a city of righteousness, the nation of righteousness, the nations of righteousness, a nation of righteousness, the civilization of righteousness, the civilizations of righteousness, a civilization of righteousness,